Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to talk about some player props that I like for Monday Night Football. We got the Giants and the Seahawks. This game should be a pretty solid game. It's about a 47 over under, a 2-point spread, so should be competitive. There should be some points scored, and yeah, I'm hoping for a nice game. If it's your first time watching, again, I cover content for player prop sites like PrizePicks, Underdog, and Parlay Play. If you guys are not on Parlay Play, you can use the link down below for a $100 deposit match bonus, or you can use the code DKDFS. I talk about a lot in these videos, but my best advice is get on as many of these sites as possible. Take advantage of those deposit match bonuses, and then search for the value. Right when you're taking player props, I always look across a ton of different books to see which one offers the best value. So that would be my best advice. Like for example, one player we're going to be talking about is Daniel Jones and his fantasy score, and on PrizePicks 17, Underdog it is 16.95, but on Parlay Play it's only 16.5. And we're going to be taking the over, which again, we'll talk about in a sec. But so the best value right now actually is on Parlay Play if you're taking fantasy points for Daniel Jones. But yeah, guys, if you want to check it out, link down below. We'd greatly appreciate that. And if you're looking for more content for DFS or for player prop stuff, you can check out my Patreon link down below. We are on a 10-2 run currently on Patreon plays for NFL. So really, it's been a great stretch. DFS also has been treating us well. I had another good week on the main slate. Won $400 with this lineup, and I probably could have won a couple $1,000. If you guys watched the game, Aiden O'Connell had a touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. They called him short, even though he was in, and then they ran it in with Jacobs' next play, which really tilted me. And then Zach Ertz at low ownership, 3%, dropped a touchdown in garbage time. So I was like, pulling my hair out, man. I probably should have won a couple $1,000 with this build. But yeah, let's recap everything. YouTube plays for Sunday. Just got to laugh it off. Got reversed. It's going to happen. Like you're going to get reversed here and there every once in a while. I don't really regret it. The plays that I took too, I think we got good value in a lot of them. We just got hooked on a couple, and then just weird game scripts, right? Just massive blowouts. Like Pollard barely played in the second half because the game was just so out of hand. The Texans were playing from ahead, which was weird. Pittsburgh just could not put any points up, so the Texans really didn't have to throw a ton. And when they did, they just went to Nico Collins. So, and like Tank Dell's getting carries out of the backfield. I'm like, what is life right now? Like I tweeted out, I was like, I didn't realize Tank Dell converted to a running back. He literally had like 2 carries in the first quarter. Like, is this happening? Is this a glitch? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, like I said, it's been a great run for Patreon plays for NFL. We went 5-1 on Sunday Night Football and so close to a full sleep 25x. Randall Cobb in the second half had 2 targets there. Just needed one more catch from him. So we took Dalvin Cook under his fantasy score that hit. Zach Wilson over his passing attempts easily hit. Noah Gray under receptions. Cobb over receiving yards was one that missed, but he was out the majority of the game and was targeted a good amount. We took Pacheco over his rushing attempts and Garrett Wilson over his receptions. And then for the main slate, oh my gosh, these were the Patreon plays in the main slate. The only miss was Freiermuth. He got injured early in the third quarter, so it didn't get rebooted. But yeah, we took a lot of unders. James Conner under his rushing yards, Brian Robinson under his rushing yards, Michael Pittman under his receiving yards. We took Diggs plus Kincaid over touchdowns. That clearly hit because Diggs had 3 or 4 touchdowns. Zach Ertz over his fantasy score, and then Freiermuth was the one miss who got injured. So, oh man, like I said, it's been a really good run for Patreon. The YouTube plays, as I mentioned, did get reversed, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It'll happen. DFS, again, I was high on the Jets. Sunday Night Football was all over Zach Wilson. No one wanted him. Again, we talked about that in my DFS video to avoid groupthink. He was sub 20% owned and absolutely smashed to punish the faders. But let's recap everything again. If you guys are playing the $1 Million Showdown with the Giants and the Seahawks, you can check out my video breaking that one down and giving my advice there. Okay, so let's talk about these plays. And the first play, again, we mentioned it, is going to be Daniel Jones over his fantasy score. You can take it at 17 on PrizePicks. You can take it at 16.95 an Underdog. Or if you want the best value and you're not on Parlay Play, take it at 16.5 on Parlay Play. So here are the reasons we like. I like Daniel Jones' fantasy score. So number one, just take a look at projections across the industry right now. Daniel Jones projected for like around 22 fantasy score. Again, the Seattle defense is not great. They're missing a couple cornerbacks. And Daniel Jones is mobile. We know that like last week, he didn't run a ton against the 49ers, but we've seen a lot of games where Daniel Jones can go for, 40, 50, 60, 70 yards in the ground. Like week 1, 13 carries, 43 yards. Week 2, 9 carries, 59 yards. I think last week against the 49ers, kind of just an outlier where he only ran the ball 2 times. But he brings that rushing floor. And again, I'm not really scared of the Seattle defense. This is projected to be a relatively high total game too, so there should be some offense, some points scored. Saquon Barkley is once again out, so I think they're going to lean on Daniel Jones and his arms/legs. Now, Breida is a competent backup, but I really don't think they're going to be slamming Matt Breida into the back of the O-line like 20 times, right? I think they're going to lean on Daniel Jones a little bit more than they would if Saquon is in. If Saquon is in, I think they'd be more than comfortable giving Saquon 20-plus touches. I don't really know if they want to do that with Breida. I know the game script got out of hand, so they couldn't run the ball a ton, but I still don't think like Matt Breida is going to get like 20-plus opportunities in this game. So I think you're going to see a lot of Daniel Jones, passing and using his legs. Again, Seattle missing multiple cornerbacks, and projections have Daniel Jones for around low 20s fantasy score across the industry. So I think the projection on these player prop sites is just a little bit too low. 17 on PrizePicks, 16.95 on Underdog, and 16.5 on Parlay Play. So we're going to take Daniel Jones over his fantasy score. And the second one we're going to look to is Ken Walker and his fantasy score, and we're going to take less. It is back to under season. Again, under season has been treating us really well last couple days. And here's one where I think box score watchers are going to be a little bit scared to take this one, right? The last 5 bros are going to look at it. Oh, he's easily gone over the last 2 games, right? What are you thinking taking Ken Walker over his fantasy score? Well, he's gotten pretty lucky with touchdown variance over the last couple weeks. So let's talk about that, right? You cannot continue to expect Ken Walker to average 2 touchdowns a game like he has over the last 2 weeks. And if you take a look at the snap count, so if you really dive deep into the data, don't just look at the box score, you can see his role is slowly diminishing. His snaps are going down. These snaps are going up on rookie running back Zach Charbonnet, right? Last week, it was almost a 50-50 split with those 2 backs, right? With Charbonnet and Ken Walker. Ken Walker played 38 snaps. Zach Charbonnet played 32 snaps. And in the 2-minute drills, it was all Zach Charbonnet. So you're not seeing a lot of routes right now for Ken Walker. And we know, obviously, on PrizePicks, it is full point PPR, right? And he's just not running a lot of routes. So basically, not very involved in the pass game right now, Ken Walker. It's kind of touchdown or bust. And if Ken Walker does not fall into the end zone, I think we have an amazing shot to hit this under 14, right? So again, they have 2 backs. They actually use 3 backs. DJ Dallas comes in at times too. Like last week, DJ Dallas still played 10 snaps, ran 4 routes. So he is a guy that they will use here and there as well. So technically 3 running backs are going to play. And again, Ken Walker right now not playing the 2-minute drills. That is the rookie Zach Charbonnet. And he basically, with this fantasy score projection, he needs to fall in the end zone. And you cannot continue to expect him to score every single week, right? It's just something you cannot expect. So we're going to take less than 14 fantasy score here for Ken Walker. Let's see, where is it at on Underdog? So his fantasy score on Underdog is 13.95, and actually would prefer the under on Underdog. And the reason is Underdog is half a point PPR, while DraftKings is full point PPR, right? So would prefer this play actually on Underdog, taking less than 13.95 fantasy score. Even though he's not running a ton of routes, he is still, he still can catch passes. Like he only ran 12 routes last week, but I believe he still had like 1 or 2 catches. Let me bring it up. He actually had 3 catches, which was kind of an outlier for the amount of routes that he ran. Again, diving deep into the data, you can tell Charbonnet is playing on all the 2-minute drills. So would prefer this play actually on Underdog, taking less than 13.95 fantasy points there. So prefer the play slightly on Underdog to PrizePicks, but if you want to take it on PrizePicks, if you can't play on Underdog, that's fine. Like you can still take under 14 fantasy score here for Ken Walker and over 17 fantasy score here for Daniel Jones. Let's check it out on Parlay Play and see where Ken Walker is. So do they have his... Yeah, so his fantasy score is 14 here too. So totally fine taking that there. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for the picks for Monday Night Football. I'm going to have some more picks posted on Patreon. Like I said, it's been a really good run for us, 10-2, so close to 25x, two 25x's yesterday, right? We missed the main slate one because of the Freiermuth injury, and we missed the Cobb one. He had multiple targets in the second half, just couldn't pull down. We just need one more catch from him. He couldn't do it. But yeah, it's been a great stretch there. Hopefully we don't get reversed like we did in the YouTube plays for the main slate. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Hey, we have NBA preseason right around the corner. Right around the corner. 3 days from now, we have NBA preseason. You guys go back and see what I've done in preseasons years past. We have dominated. There's a massive edge in preseason and when taking player props. We killed it in the NFL preseason. We killed it last year in the NFL preseason. We killed it last year in the NBA preseason. So hoping to keep that going. I will have some plays for the NBA preseason, a lot posted on Patreon. So if you guys are interested, again, link down below. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your Monday, guys. Hopefully this is a good game, and good luck. We'll see you guys all in the next video.